We see the usual construction cues, the large towers, the beautiful window. We see potentially the ability to project some other form of technology, some other form of sound, or the process that's been brought up a couple times on previous live streams of the channel called cymatics are a subset of modal vibrational phenomena. We don't exactly know what causes them, but it shows in these different patterns. Could this be something to do with sound or some technology we don't understand that was emitted through sound from these once great cathedrals, these churches that we see? And this can cause these patterns. Perhaps another application of this technology is that it caused the actual soil liquefaction on a level we couldn't possibly understand. Consider all the churches that you see. The churches that are on a hill, the churches that are in large cities or in great municipalities. And yet at the same time, churches are not just confined to large cities with their incredible organs, their towers, and their amazing windows, which we speculate could be used to project some form of vibrational frequencies. We see churches in every small town and village. There's even a small town called Arcadia in western Iowa that's never had a population of more than 500 in its entire recorded history since 1880, and yet it has two very large churches, both on hills. Everywhere we look across the land, you'll see that there are churches or buildings that we're told have a religious function, and yet there's many similarities in the layouts, towers and windows and incredible construction. We're told and conditioned to believe that these religious edifices are potentially sanctuaries or places where one could seek a sanctuary, and you'll find it in different forms of fiction, that churches are a place of holy ground, just as other religious edifices in the other faiths across the land are. Yet at the same time, is it possible that all these churches survived because they were meant to, that they were positioned in a location to where they could broadcast the frequency or induce cymatics, that somehow their original purpose of defense for the old civilization was subverted or sabotaged, and they were used to induce the mud flood? That's one very solid theory, and I think the numerous locations of these religious edifices across the land and their unique personal locations, oftentimes on hills or in, how shall you say, commanding positions on the terrain, they could have very easily broadcast these frequencies and caused this breakdown of the soil or this soil liquefaction using some process of cymatics, some process of vibrational frequencies that we don't understand. Even the great Cathedral of Cologne, that thing survived 2 world wars. It seems as though these buildings were meant to last and endure. And it's very difficult to find even an unused church, and granted I'm just talking about the United States here and more recent experiences, that's ever been torn down. If a church is unused, the building remains standing. And of course, what do you have inside every church? You have a very large and impressive organ. It seems as though it's the layout of projecting sound. And this goes for the edifices of other faiths as well. Projecting sound seems to be very important. Now, granted, this is just a theory. It could be wrong, and yet every time you go around and you see the layout of these religious buildings being similar, with the ability to project sound or in some way influence vibrational frequency, then that really gives a lot of credence to the fact that this was how the mud flood was induced. And why was the mud flood induced? Simple. Because if you have a mud flood, it makes it a lot easier to reset the civilization. It enables you to conceal the greatness of the buildings. It also allows a different civilization to control exactly what's going to be released and what's not going to be shared with the general population. And perhaps it was an initial attempt to destroy the enclaves of the population that did not go along with the reset.